everyone, and welcome to this episode of Montana Multipreneurs. We're your co-hosts, Nina, owner of Next Generation HR, and Mac, owner of Maven Administrative Consulting. Today, we're so excited to be joined by Paul Neace, marketing consultant with Cox Media Group out of Jacksonville, Florida. Welcome, Paul.
Nina, welcome, Mac. Thank you for having me. I'm so honored to be a part of this.
Thank you so much. We're so glad to have you. Today, Paul is going to be sharing with us our theme today, which is building trust that drives growth from a marketing perspective on visibility and sales. So, Paul, using that lens and your background in sales, leadership, and marketing, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Well, let me preface it, Nina, by saying that I am not now, nor have I ever been a business owner. And I like prefacing with that to let you know that I don't have firsthand experience of owning a business. I don't know exactly the trials and tribulations that it takes to run a business on a day-to-day basis. I don't have the empathy of a business owner. So I know my limitations in that respect. But what I do have is over 30 years of experience of working with businesses of all sizes. And I mean businesses that generate hundreds of millions of dollars of annual revenue and those that generate thousands of dollars of annual revenue. So all sizes, all categories. I can't imagine a business category I haven't worked with. I'm not going to say that I've worked with every category because I don't know what some of them are that are out there, but I've worked with all that I can think of. So I have that perspective of understanding why businesses need to be better today than they were yesterday and better tomorrow than they are today. And I try to understand that on from a point of view of a marketer, because I know that you need to appeal to more people all the time. You know, audiences are so fragmented now in 2026. Oh my gosh. I just said that for the first time. Our businesses are so fragmented now in 2026, so much more than they were just 5 years ago, 10 years ago, et cetera. And their attention spans, they're getting pulled in so many directions by so many different people, both in my business and in other businesses, that it's vital to get the right messages out there to the right people at the right time if you want to be more successful today than you were yesterday and tomorrow than you were today. So I try and help in that respect in any way that I possibly can.
I feel like we could learn so much. Nina and I were always talking about how can we be better at business development, sales. You know, what do you think people most understand about sales and marketing? Like businesses that you come across or, you know, other.
Well, it's not a science, but it does deal with a lot of math, meaning it's a numbers game. Sales is nothing but numbers. But even though I'll use things in a quantitative respect, I also mean it qualitatively as well. It's not going to do any good to just keep throwing everything out there as much as you can to as many people as you can without trying to be strategic about where that message and who you're trying to appeal to. So you need to get as many people as you possibly can to understand what you're trying to do to help your business grow. But they also need to be the right people in the right places at the right time. And that's what a good marketing person should be helping a business do at all times. So if a business owner can understand that, yes, it is about quantity, but you also have to mix in the right quality in there as well. And as long as they know that there are people like me out there who understand that or who really want to help you work on that bottom line, as opposed to some that are out there who are only worried about their bottom line instead of your bottom line. And I'm sorry to say that they are still people out there like that. But if that business owner can differentiate between those people who are trying to help them and those who aren't, that's going to make a huge, huge difference in helping them be more successful tomorrow than they are today.
How do you connect numbers and authenticity together in a way that makes sales authentic for people and they don't feel forced or it doesn't make them uncomfortable. I know for me, it is so out of my comfort zone, some of that closing aspect of it. How do you make it feel authentic for people?
There's nothing more important to me, and there's nothing more important to most business owners that I speak with than the return on their investment. Why is a huge deal, and it's not just an acronym. It's not just letters. It really is the most important aspect in a business person's day. If you can get your ROI on whatever sale that you make, if you can get your ROI on whatever investment you make, then no investment is too large. If you spend $1 and you end up getting $5 back, then that's a very well invested dollar. By contrast, if you spend $1 million and get $5 million back, then that's a good investment. However, you don't know that ahead of time. You don't know what's going to get your investment and what isn't. Therefore, trust is a huge part of this business, guys. It so much is. And if you can find the right person in my business that has your best interests in mind, that has your bottom line in mind, that only wants to get your ROI for you as badly as you want your ROI for yourself, then I would latch onto that person and stick with them for as long as you're in business and as long as that person can continue delivering that ROI. It's not easy though, ladies. It is absolutely not easy. You have to sometimes ferret through a lot of people who are in it for themselves before you find the right one. And sometimes you have to use this as well as you use this. You have to trust someone with your heart before you can trust them with your head. I tell that to a lot of people. There are so many genuine people, genuinely good people in my business, but there are a few that aren't. And it's going to take a little experience to figure out which ones are in it to help that business person and which aren't. And sometimes it's trial and effort. I'm sorry to say that, but sometimes it is. I'm a very genuine person. I try and convey that from the second that I meet you. But I don't know what's going on in your life at the moment that we meet. As I said before, your attention span may be in 40 different directions. So you may not be able to give me the amount of time for me to prove to you that I'm in it for you. And that's okay. I understand that. But hopefully I've said something or done something that will allow me to continue advancing that relationship to a level that I can prove to you that I can help you get your ROI and improve your bottom line if you let me do that.
Paul, along the line, so as a solopreneur, I've been in business about 6 years now, and I don't know what I don't know when it comes to the world of sales and marketing. And I am a very strong HR executive consultant with over 3 decades of experience, but the whole world of sales and marketing really is very intimidating to me. I don't really know where to begin. I'm doing a lot myself. I think I'm doing a great job of posting on social media, but somebody even the other day said, well, you're marketing, but you're not doing sales. I have not paid a marketing or sales consultant to help me just yet. But how would you kind of educate business leaders about when it makes sense to get some external help, or where do they need to focus, marketing versus sales, and the different components? So paid Google ads versus, you and I talked about just regular broadcast media, as a thing of maybe the past. I don't know, but it just is very overwhelming, I would say, to your technically savvy in their industry, competent entrepreneur, but this is out of our wheelhouse.
Yeah, there are so many business owners, Nina, who try and wear a marketing hat that have no marketing education. And trust me, marketing, as you have so accurately identified, marketing is a huge world. It is. I'm not saying you can't be an expert at, I don't know, selling cars or whatever it is your business is. I'm not saying you can't be an expert both at that and marketing, but I bow my hat to you if you are, because there aren't very many who are. There are some who like to think they are, but there aren't very many who truly, truly are. So what I would say to you is don't try to go outside of your comfort zone. Your comfort zone, Mr. Business Person, Ms. Business Person, is your business. Your comfort zone is selling cars or shoes or air conditioning or whatever it is that you sell. That's your comfort zone. Chances are you didn't go to school to market your business. Chances are you didn't take any classes. Chances are you've been inundated by more people to try and help you market your business than you ever cared to know, and therefore you got so frustrated you just decided to try to do it yourself. I'm here to tell you, you shouldn't do that. You so shouldn't do that, because you're going to do so many things wrong, and that's okay as long as you learn from your mistakes. I'm never shy about making a mistake as long as I learn from it. But you need to do your business and then let a marketing professional help you market your business to help you make more sales. The difference between marketing and sales is just that. You sell, let us market for you. I'm not going to try. I can't sell anything for you. I can't sell the first thing for any business that I speak with, nor should I try, nor will I ever try. I can't sell a car. I could try, but that's not my background. That's not what I'm educated in. But I can help you market to the right people so that you can sell more cars or whatever it is that you sell. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. And one thing, when you mentioned, get it wrong, I think if I look at me getting it wrong, what that looks like, one is I don't get clients to buy my services. That's a big one. But also I would think disenchantment, like giving up on it, because it feels like we're spinning our wheels. And if we're doing it quote unquote wrong, then you're not getting the return and you give up on marketing. I'll just rely on referrals, or I'll just rely on something else. So you're not the first person that has said, let the experts do what the experts do and focus on what you do. But it also is a funding issue. Where do you spend your money? And my view of hiring marketing consultants is that it could be out of my price range potentially. And then until you get that return on investment, putting forth that money. And, Cox Media Group is, in my view, a pretty big organization. So that would feel intimidating. Just hearing you say you help organizations with thousands of dollars of revenue, not hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands even, was interesting that we could approach somebody like Cox Media Group with our needs and be taken on as a client. So I find that all extremely interesting. I sat in on a webinar once on, doing your own Google ads, and I had to hang up halfway through it because I'm like, this is not for me.
Actually, I've hung up on a few of those too.
Yeah. And I thought to myself, I need to pay somebody to do this. So what do you think is a sales habit, though, that I know we all agree that there is a time to outsource things and get the experts involved, but not everybody has the bandwidth, especially, we've talked recently with some new startup entrepreneurs and businesses, and they're running on a shoestring. So there might be some self-service that they provide in the areas of marketing and sales. So what would you say is a habit that business owners could make themselves that would help improve their marketing or sales efforts if they did one thing every day?
That's a loaded question.
Are there any tools that help you, in your day-to-day jobs, spams, email templates, things like that you would give a tip to someone?
Learn now that it again is 2026. For the last 2 or 3 years, there's been the biggest innovation that the business world has seen since the advent of the internet. And that is 2 letters, AI. Learn as much as you can about AI and how it can help you day to day. I use it every single day. I use it in different ways, and different parts of our organization use it in different ways that I don't even understand, that I couldn't even go there. But for sales and marketing, AI can help you in so many ways. If you just simply typed in how can I do a Google search better into AI, it may not give you a step-by-step agenda. It may, but it's at least going to give you an outline. It's at least going to give you a foundation. Now, it's not going to do it for you. That's what we're for. But it's going to give you a good outline so that when somebody like me comes to speak with you, and if I'm talking about how to do Google search and what you've read from what AI has spit out to you is completely different than what I'm telling you, you might want to look and speak to someone else. There's a reason that AI is so powerful, and there's a reason that so many people are using it in their day-to-day activities, because it is so helpful. And the more that I use it, I say you use it, I can't speak for anyone else. The more I use it, the more helpful that I find, the more ways I can find for it to help me on an everyday basis. So I would say that's one tool a business owner, if they aren't embracing, and I mean full board every single day, that they should at least dip their toe into the water of now. The sooner the better. It's going to keep getting more advanced all the time. I think ChatGPT, which is the common one everybody uses these days, I think they're on their third version already. I don't know. They're on a new version now.
I think it was fifth.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, look at, and that may have just happened since we've been on this call. So, but so they're just like you get software updates on your phone all the time. These AI companies are updating things and finding out what is working and what isn't working almost hourly. So I would say that learn it as much as you possibly can, and ask them what should I be doing as a marketing to help market my business on a regular basis, daily or weekly or monthly or quarterly or whatever it is, and then find the right person on my end to help you institute those things as cost effectively as you possibly can.
Yeah. No, I love that. And so you said ChatGPT is kind of your go-to. Do you have any other platforms that you use in your day-to-day?
Yeah, Perplexity is one that our mutual friend Kate, she uses that one on a regular basis. I haven't embraced that one as much as I have ChatGPT, just because ChatGPT does everything that I need for it to do, and I haven't gotten to a hurdle that I haven't been able to get over with it. But she's educated me that there are some other ways to use Perplexity that maybe it goes down some rabbit holes, maybe some useful ones that ChatGPT can't or hasn't. So that's another good one. Those are really the only two that I'm aware of that are out there, but I know there are several others.
Yeah, awesome. I think for Nina and I, we both, over the last year and a half, we've been partnering. We've utilized AI into our kind of not just day-to-day operations, but even just our strategies, monthly, weekly, quarterly, and it has made a positive impact. And I think the most important thing that you said out of that is, have an expert help implement, those ideas is a huge key. And because even just on my goal list, I'm like, okay, these could be on my goal and this is part of my strategy, but to really get these across, effectively, I need to have an expert come in. And we have hired, both Nina and I have hired Kate to help implement a lot of those things. But I think it, like you said, there's different pieces to the pie, if you will, that need for it to be a full implementation.
Completely.
Yeah. And I feel like what you're saying, Paul, is the same thing. I know, at least in my HR consulting business, I say the same thing. Sometimes I'll have clients that I can just pull a handbook off of ChatGPT. And yeah, that's a great first step to start with, to give you some ideas of what you want included in policies or whatever, various HR. But so we're always like, yeah, absolutely. AI gets you to first base in a baseball analogy. And it's a great first base and gives you that. Back in the old days, I'd go to the library and research. You don't have to do that anymore. I'm dating myself. That's okay. People know. But it is a great get you to first base, and then have an expert help you get to second base, third base, get the home run that you need. So take it, educate yourself with it is what I usually try to do. And then I know when I need to hand it off. Paul, one thing you said at the beginning, which really segues into our episode, is the trust factor. And that's so important in all aspects of business and authenticity. How does that come across in media and marketing?
Trust can't be rushed first. You can't, as much as I would love to show up on day one or make a quote unquote cold call and have you say, absolutely, I'm going to turn over my life savings and let you turn it into, four new locations in 12 months. That's, you know, that's pie in the sky, rose-colored glasses, Pollyanna thinking, et cetera, et cetera. Trust is the biggest issue that salespeople will always have. I can't look in the future, have always had. And it's something that we struggle with every day. Now, I don't like calling myself a salesperson for that reason. I like calling myself an educator because an educated person, an educated business owner is going to better understand how I can help them than an uneducated. And I don't mean uneducated negatively. I just mean one that maybe doesn't understand how the products that I have could possibly help them. So I need to educate them as to how that can happen. That's how I'm going to build trust, by starting the educational process from not just day one, but minute one. If I walk into a business person, a business owner and I say, you need to buy this or whatever with my hand out. That happens so often in my business, and has happened so often in my business, that it gives salespeople, again, a bad rap. That's why I try and take the sales out of the equation. That's why I don't have salesperson in my title. I never will. I will never introduce myself as a salesperson. I want to earn your trust. I know it takes time. But from the first moment that I lay eyes on you, first words that come out of my mouth, I want them to be in a way that will foster this relationship that I'm trying to build from the first second. Now we may clash. We may have such opposing personalities, and trust me, in over 30 years, that's happened more often than I can count. We may have such opposing personalities that it's not going to take long to realize that this isn't going to work. That's fine. That's fine. There's nothing, I'm not going to hold that against you. I hope you don't hold it against me. But if our personalities don't work, and that trust is never going to happen, and I'm not going to be able to help you, and therefore you need to move on to someone else. That needs to be established early as well.
How do you know when to move on? I feel like that's, especially as being like starting out, even in just a career, whether it's, in corporate, or how do you know when, okay, I've spent enough time or, energy here and it's time to move on. This isn't bringing, an ROI.
Yeah, it's funny, Mac. There are so many sales consultants, sales experts in our business who follow the quantitative formula of you have to make X amount of calls, whether that's 10 or 15 or whatever, X amount to get one appointment. And that's why I say it's a numbers game. That's why I said earlier it's a numbers game. But I try and be so authentic and so genuine on as many of my calls as possible that we're going to know as early as possible, as early on in this relationship as is feasibly, whether or not we have a personality mix. Personality mixes are so huge in this business. I'm a personality studier. I know if a person is a forceful personality or an ambivalent one or whatever, and I try my best to adapt to that person's personality, but I also want to be authentic. I don't want to be someone I'm not, but I also want to be able to adapt on the fly and make you realize that just because I didn't vote the same way that you did in the last election doesn't mean that I don't genuinely want to help you, because you have opinions. I have opinions. Let's understand that although we may have a difference of opinions in life, I still want to help you, because I still want you to be more successful tomorrow than you are today. Just because we have a difference of opinions doesn't mean I don't want to help you. However, if you can't get past that, then I'll shake your hand and move on, and you can move on to someone else. It's not an easy thing though, Mac. It's not. And sometimes it
I wish
takes,
more of the world had that outlook for sure.
sometimes it takes a while though to establish that. I'm sorry to say that happens, but it does. And I've been doing this long enough to know that some people just don't want to talk to me for whatever reason. Oh no, you have a beard. I'm not talking to someone with a beard. Sorry. Oh no, you're wearing a blue shirt. Sorry, I don't like the color blue. Whatever the reason, I'm of course being extreme, but there are reasons that are beyond my control that you may
You won't be
not
everyone's
trust.
cup of tea.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. You get that absolutely in my world of coaching. I always tell clients my style as a coach might not be what you need or want or resonate, but somebody else might be there as well. So, a couple of questions for you, Paul, that we ask all of our guests. So, like, what's on the forefront for you coming up that's got you excited in your
Gosh.
world?
Well, both in my business world and personally, or just business.
Sure.
Well, I'm in the pre stages of writing a book.
Amazing.
I'm a heart survivor. I'm not a cancer survivor, but I am a major heart issue survivor. I had open heart surgery months ago, and
Wow.
I don't mind saying I nearly didn't make it, but I had some long-term care that changed my, not just changed my physical life, but changed my emotional life, my spiritual life in a positive way. The nursing care that I got it's hard to even put into words, guys, about how it moved me. So I'm writing a book on the nursing profession to try and put it into a better light, and hope to potentially take someone who might be on the fence about whether or not they want to pursue such an incredible life of being a nurse, being a caregiver, and maybe push them onto the right side of the fence. Because one thing I did find out is the nursing profession needs more people in the worst way. So the book I'm writing I want to write, I'm in such early stages. The book I want to write is going to be in that, and I hope that it will, if it makes one person make that decision to pursue that profession, then I will have achieved my goal.
That's
Did
incredible.
not see that coming. I thought it was going to be a sales book.
No, not at all.
I'm sorry, marketing.
Yeah, I'm going to market the reasons that you should pursue a profession, a nursing profession.
I love that.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So yeah, I'm doing a lot of research. I'm in full research mode in that right now. And other than that, I'm looking forward to helping as many businesses grow and flourish as I possibly can fit into my day for as long as I'm blessed to continue to do this.
That's awesome. And so your territory then, I guess if that's the right word for it, but how do people find you? I mean, do you meet in person with clients, or are your clients mainly in Jacksonville or Florida,
So
or all?
it's funny, Nina, I've been doing this for so long that I started in radio years ago, and I've been in television since 2000. And for the first 15 years, the only way I could help a business was to put a commercial on the television stations that I was representing. And therefore, if the coverage area that our TV stations handled, as long as you were in that coverage area, the public would see or hear your TV commercial. But now, with this wonderful thing called the internet, all these digital platforms that we have, like Google search, like streaming video, like social media, all these things that we now handle at the TV station, I can now help a business in Montana. I can now help a business in Portland, Maine. I can now help a business in San Diego, California. I can help a business no matter where they are with my digital products. I still help as many people in the Jacksonville television market as possible with my television station. Broadcast television is still king. It still garners more eyeballs than any other medium that there is on the planet. So don't let anyone fool you. That's why the Super Bowl is still garners as many dollars as it does every year. That's why live sports and live news still rule as far as the revenue that we bring into the TV station. But that's all for the Jacksonville television market. But again, I have so many other ways now that I can help businesses grow, be better today than they were yesterday. I have so many other ways now to do that have nothing to do with television, that are even more effective and more efficient than television, broadcast television, that it makes me so excited to get up every day and do what I do. I'll give you a real quick, I know we're short on time, but I'll give you a real quick education. Broadcast television is like using a net and dumping it into the Atlantic Ocean and pulling it up. Whatever you get, you get. You know, you're going to get the things that you want, but you're also going to get a lot of things that you don't want. To somebody who markets all over the area, that's fine. But there are so many businesses that only want a certain geography or only want a certain demographic. With all these wonderful internet platforms that we have, I can do that. I can now target your message to a zip code. I can now target a message to a working mother with 2 children and a household income of $100,000. I couldn't do that the first 15, 20 years of television because, again, all I could do was put your commercial on the 6 o'clock news and it went out to wherever. But now I can use a spear gun and I can shoot the fish I want. You know, I may not hit every fish, but I'm only going to target those. So it's a wonderful, our marketing capabilities are so much more sophisticated and wonderful than they ever were before. It's wonderful.
Fantastic. Love that idea. And actually, I probably should have talked to you. So as you're aware, and hopefully, are we going to see you? We're going to be going to Florida the first week.
There you are.
I can hear you.
You froze for 30 seconds. I'm sorry. You froze for 30 seconds, Nina. So everything you just said, I didn't get any of it. I apologize.
So that's perfect because we were probably going to have to edit it because I stumbled. So I was going to ask, so Mike and I are planning a trip, as you're aware, to Jacksonville first week of February for the Coast to Coast Connections endeavors with Kate Reeve, who we talked about, and some other local businesses there. Will we see you while we're there? Are you going to be able to join us at any point?
It would take a team of wild horses to keep me from attending this.
Okay, perfect.
As long as my schedule is free and I will do everything I can to free it up, I will absolutely attend that. Absolutely.
Okay. We have a few things going on that are pretty exciting. We've got our Tuesday, the 3rd is our day of sessions that we're going to kind of discuss growth without burnout and then also as part of it, we were going to launch a personified leadership training, 2-day training program there. But so let's say now hindsight for next time, not for this time, but really we could have come to you and said, help us market this and tell us where we need to be. Do we need TV? Do we need social media and where? Correct?
Could help you with that. Yes.
Okay.
If that's your answer, yeah. If that's your question, then yes, I could help you with that.
Okay. That'll be
short of time.
Yeah,
you might be up against the wall. I may have needed a little bit more time, but yes.
But for next time, that's good to know because one of the things, that I try to market is a leadership class that I do. And I would like to be able to run a few open enrollment sessions in Jacksonville that may not happen on this next trip, but it might. Or if not, maybe sometime in the future. So getting it on some local areas would be great there. That is all the questions that I think we have. Mac, I don't know if you have anything else.
No, we just have that happy hour. That Friday will be over there. So we'll definitely send you the more information on that because we're looking forward to meeting you in person.
That would be wonderful. I'm so looking forward to that.
Yes, as we do as well, Paul. And it's really been a pleasure speaking with you both before today and also today. And we can't wait to meet you, talk about trust and everything else. And I just feel so strongly about relationship building and making those authentic connections. So, we're just starting to get to know you, but I look forward to learning more about you and your background and visiting with you in the future.
I echo those sentiments right back at both of you. This has been such a treat for me. I'm honored that you thought enough of me to do this. I will thank Kate probably from now until she's old and gray. So thank you so much for the time. And however I can help you in the next little while or into the future, please don't hesitate to reach out.
That's fantastic. We really appreciate you. It's been a pleasure, and we are grateful for you taking the time to visit with us today and educate us. I've learned a lot.
Me too.
And so with that, we really appreciate it, Paul. We'll be in touch with you here in the near future.
Yes,
and
thank you,
see
ladies.
you in a few weeks.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.